Good morning, BookTube. My name is Catherine, and welcome to my first ever BookTube video. I'm a little nervous, so please excuse any stuttering or the use of and like in my ramble on sentences. I'm gonna do a quick Friday reads video. I was looking at the BookTube Newbie tag, and the questions are great, but they are all about why you're joining BookTube, who's inspired you, what type of reader you are. And I'm just really in the mood to talk about books and what I've been reading. It's a bit of a gloomy day here in Northern Ontario, and I'm just really in the mood to chat books. So I'm going to be doing a Friday Reads instead. So I'll start with what I have just finished reading, talk about what I'm currently reading, and then also some books that I've got my eye on for my TBR. So I'll start with the book that I finished this weekend, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I'm a little bit late on this train. This book was really popular around this time last year, I believe. And this is a literary fiction story about love and about how play and friendship can be even more intimate than our romantic and sexual partners. And it surrounds two friends who create a video game together while they're both studying in Boston. So I thought this was an amazing book. I loved it. I sped through it. I cracked the spine and spent so much time with it that the pages have started to fall out. So yeah, it was definitely a well-loved read for me, and I just think it was great. The next book that I read that I actually finished around 1 a.m. last night, finally, is At the Sharp End by Tim Cook. This is a library copy that I've renewed probably 4 or 5 times since I've had it. This is an all-encompassing history of Canadians fighting during World War I, specifically through the first half of World War I. So it's a 2-volume series, and this volume takes you through 1914 to 1916. This was definitely an ambitious pick for my first World War I history. It's a bit thick and very all-encompassing, but Tim Cook is a great author, and I really enjoyed my time with this one, and I'm most certainly going to be picking up the second volume, and I'm looking forward to reading some of his other shorter works as well that are a little bit less all-encompassing. The book I'm currently reading is Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. I picked this up because it's actually the 100th anniversary of the publication of Mrs. Dalloway, and I'm reading it now during June because this book takes place on June 13th, 1923. So I've never read a Virginia Woolf novel before, but I'm loving this. This is a Penguin Classics edition that has a really great introduction. I actually bought this book secondhand at my local bookstore, and I love it because it's been annotated by the previous owner, and that's one of my favorite things, is to pick up a used book and read the annotations and highlights and the writings in the margins of the previous owner and see what stuck out to them or what they found important. So I've really been enjoying this. I'm about halfway through. I just started this morning, and I'm hoping to finish it off this evening. So I think this is a great introduction to Virginia Woolf, and I'm hoping to read a biography of her as well, hopefully sometime this summer. So this follows Clarissa Dalloway, and it just follows her within the span of one day as she goes about her normal life. She's the wife of a Conservative MP, and it deals with the concepts of femininity and aging, and I'm finding it very interesting. I'm sure all of you have heard of Mrs. Dalloway before, but yeah. The other book that I'm currently engaging with, not necessarily reading, is I've been listening to the Claverings Read Aloud by Stephen Donahue on YouTube. It's not my favorite troll-up, although I have been having fun with it. I definitely preferred Mr. Scarborough's Family. I find that this one has like almost no likable characters for me to connect with, so I'm a little bit less invested in the stakes and the outcome of the story, but we're wrapping up with that one soon, and I'm excited to see what book he picks next for our next read along. And for my weekend TBR, after I finish with Mrs. Dalloway, I have 2 books. It's, again, very gloomy here, but I picked some bright, kind of, to me, summery reads to get me more in the summer mood. So the first one is Happy Hour by Marlo, I believe it's Granados. This is actually the oldest book on my Storygraph TBR, so I've had this for quite a long time, and I just haven't found the right time to pick it up. It's kind of I would describe it as no plot, just vibes fiction, similar to kind of like Coco Mallore's or Sally Rooney fiction. and it follows two young women who have just moved to New York City, and they're struggling for money, but they're living this glitzy, glamorous life and making it work in the evenings. That's pretty much all I know about it. I've heard some really, really good recommendations of this novel by people that I respect their opinions on literature, so I'm looking forward to it. I heard one reviewer describe it as listening to a phone call or a voice message from a good friend, so I'm hoping that it has that kind of bright, shimmery energy for my summer reading. And then my final book that I'm hoping to pick up in the coming days is Sex Cult Nun, Breaking Away from the Children of God, a Wild Radical Religious Cult. So I love reading about cults. I love memoirs about cults. I love nonfiction analysis of cults and extremist religion. So I've read a lot of books like that. Educated by Tara Westover, The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I actually don't think that one's a cult one. I think that's just a really good memoir that I've read. And I'm trying to think of some other ones. I really liked Cultish by Amanda Montell, which explores the language of cults. I've watched tons of documentaries. It's just kind of a special interest of mine. So I've had this one on my TBR for quite a while, and I'm looking forward to picking this up. I also want to read it this weekend because I think this would be a little bit of a weird book to bring into work and have sit on my desk during the workday, especially because I work at a youth serving organization. So I definitely want to read this one over the weekend so that it's not my pick that I'm bringing into work during the week. So thank you for watching my very quick first booktube video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with everybody in the comments and on booktube a little bit more. I've been watching booktube for over 10 years now, and I've contemplated starting a channel for a very long time. So I'm very, very excited to make my first video, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you all soon. I also want to say I apologize if you hear some chirping in the background. My cockatiel Jojo also has many bookish thoughts for you, so I apologize for that noise if you can hear it. But anyway, thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye.